Hey friends! Thank you all for hopping on this quick video. I just wanted to share how I hung these curtains. Hubby and I got all of these hung on the first try without making a gazillion holes in the wall. So I just wanted to share with you a little tip that we used because if you've read this tutorial, these are all handmade corbels from inexpensive materials we found at Home Depot. So when they're handmade, they are, as we like to say, perfectly imperfect. So when we looked at the back of the corbels and we went to go and hang them, all that's on the back of your corbel is this one spot to hang it. So when we lined them up, between coring out your corbel and trying to make sure that the backing was all perfect on each of these, we realized every one was just a little bit different. No two were exactly the same. So we knew it wasn't going to be as simple as hanging one corbel and saying, okay, we're just going to measure down 3 inches from the ceiling and 6 inches from the window and we'll have a perfect hang. We knew we were going to have to do each of these individually and really take our time to hang them. So a little trick that we used is this painter's tape trick, just to make sure that we really, really nailed where to drill that first hole, especially in this wall. This is our shiplap wall, and it's one of my favorite things in this room, so I did not want to put extra holes in my shiplap, so nor do I want to draw on it. So that's why I have that piece of paper there, so that I can show you exactly how we did this. So what we would do is hang our first corbel, we would figure out where we want it, and we'd mark it. We'd use the painter's tape trick, and we would get our corbel up. So what I mean by painter's tape trick is I take a piece of painter's tape and I line it over the back of my corbel, and I take a lot of time to make sure that it's perfectly lined up with the edge and with the top. So then I take it and I mark on the wall, on the top and the side, exactly where I want it to hang. So this is where I'd want it to hang, and with a pencil I put a mark at the top and a mark at the side, so then I have a nice corner as to where I want this to be. So then on the back, you can see on this one, what makes this a little bit more challenging is it has the drop down. So this is where you really want to have the nail sit, or the screw sit, when you have it on the wall. So trying to mark this, and it makes it a little challenging. So this is the easiest way I figured out to make the exact right hole. So what I do is I hold the tape down and I use my pencil and I kind of fish to find the top of that spot. So when you peel this back, you'll see that that hole is right at the top. Got it? So all I do is just puncture one little hole in it. So then up on the wall, I have my mark where I want this to go. Now, there's two things here. Either you can cut this tape so that you don't have this extra tape here. I was just worried that I wouldn't get a perfect corner when I cut it, so I'll show you what I do. Or if you have tape that's the exact width of this corbel, you don't have to do this step. But because my tape hangs over a little bit on the edge, I can't just take the tape off and stick it on the wall, because then my hole is now going to be off by probably about 1/4 of an inch. So I take it and I just flip it over. So I just use 2 extra pieces of tape. I line my edge up with exactly where I want my corbel drill hole to be. Tape. And then I tape. And then right there we have exactly where we know we need this hole to be. So then we could just go ahead and drill, and we're all set. So that was the method that we used. It's not the prettiest of methods, but it was the best that we found. And we got all of these guys up and hung. So, I mean, you can see when you line them up, they're just not quite exact. So having them be off, and there was just no way we were gonna spend all this time and put all this effort in to make A, extra holes, or B, have them not look beautiful. So that was the tip we used. That was our little painter's tape trick. I hope that helps you guys.